What's up, y'all? Danny Dillon the Dawn, also known as the Dark Angel. I'm here with a video update on my progress. As you may or may not know, I'm gonna turn off the TR-08. Yeah, find your video game, Aiden. I'm looking for your games are here. I don't know where the switch is. Dad, I'm looking for the other switch too, the blue one. So it's interesting. Both switches are lost.
What's blue one?
The blue switch is an Ethernet switch, and then your switch is the console. Let's look for it. Okay, anyways, an update on my progress. As you may or may not know, I have a brain tumor that they tried to tell me is not curable and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I had a mood disorder. What was the mood disorder? Well, I was initiated into some sort of, what do you want to call it? It's called Shrem Brazil. Okay, billionaire consciousness by this guy, a guru, Tumor, Dr. Pillai. So he opened my third eye through a video, and then my third eye opened. It has like a flood of imagery and whatnot. And then all of a sudden I realized that the reason that I'm here, I saw the cosmos and all. You may have experienced it as well. You can get into you go pretty intergalactic. You start seeing all the stars. You can travel between the stars, see all the different universes. So I had that experience, and then a lot of things made sense to me. I realized, hey, I need to make money. That the whole point of humanity is basically currency is necessary to keep people organized and moving. There's a spiritual purpose behind it, right? It's not. Prior to that, I was practicing somewhat of an asceticism, which was like trying to denounce myself and unattach myself, a la Gautama the Buddha. The thing is, Gautama the Buddha had a very unique scenario where I'm moving around because I'm looking for the switch. This Buddha guy, he was born a prince, you understand? His birth was foretold. He was born in his courtyard. His mother just squatted and he came out, and then he took one step forward, one step back, one step to the west and another step to the east. So basically he stepped in 4 to 8 directions. I believe it was 8 directions. Okay. And he had said, when I come back, I'm going to do that, right? Like this was a prophecy. So the Buddha had his path, which was to renounce and to practice asceticism. I was practicing that, and then I was practicing martial arts and iron palm training and all sorts of just trying to get to a simple life, right? I had done a 100-item challenge, and the 100-item challenge is where you get rid of all of your materials, all your objects of possession, unless, and get to the point that it's less than 100. So I had completed that challenge. It required me to move coast to coast twice before I was able to get to less than 100, okay? And it was a process of liberation, because you're giving away stuff that you think is important and that you have purchased and collected over the years, but really it's nothing that you really need, right? So it was a very liberating experience. I had done the 100 items challenge, but at this point I decided I wanted to become wealthy. And so I did this Shrem Brazil third eye initiation. I opened the third eye, had a flood of imagery, all sorts of sensations in my body, and ended up at the emergency room at the hospital because my family was concerned about my mood. I had all a flight of thoughts, and I wanted to fly a private jet to India to just live a good life, right? And I was ready to make it happen. Now, the thing is, when you're living with people, they have their own vibration and their own expectation, and they also have and that at that time, and still now, they have an expectation on you. In my case, they were expecting me to be a certain way, and all of a sudden I'm talking and have all these plans. And so they took me to the hospital, and I thought, well, I don't like going to the hospital, and usually I would never go myself, but they were so worried that I said, okay, well, it looks like the right thing to do is to go to the hospital. I went to the hospital. They did this was 6 years ago, okay? They did a scan on my brain, and they found an abnormality, and they wanted to take it out. Okay, so basically they were telling me, oh, you have a brain abnormality. I sat down with Dr. Brian Nahid, a neurosurgeon, and he was telling me that, look, it could be a cancer. We don't know until we open up your head and check it out. and it could start spreading, it start going here and there, and I was like, it was a lot of information. I had never even heard of these types of um, words. That the thought had never crossed my mind before, that I might have cancer. My cells might be turning against me. All of a sudden, I was in a new world, right? Like this guy, like really threw me a curveball, right? But I decided, I went and I researched it. I was like, okay, so I talked not only to Dr. Nahid, I also spoke to a neurosurgeon in Canada. His name is Dr. Toyota. I think it was also Brian Toyota. And I spoke to him. I said, look, so is what this guy's saying correct? Now you have to understand the contrast here. When you live on the line, like I choose to, I can go talk to someone in Canada or in the United States. In the United States, it's big money, big business. This guy, Dr. Nahid, is a neurosurgeon. He's married to Senator Kerry's daughter. Okay, so he comes and does his surgeries. I don't know how many he does a year, probably a handful of them. They're intensive processes. He's got the skull open, and he's in charge when he's doing that. He's got a team of people, and he goes in there and he takes out brain parts, right? It's an intensive procedure, and the guy probably makes, I don't know, $500,000 a year, probably more, and he does eight or nine of them. He doesn't have to do a lot of them. He's got one day that he comes in, and it's like a 4-hour procedure. So he's living a pretty good life by cutting people up and taking out parts of their body. I didn't feel like it was the right thing for me to do, so I didn't do the surgery. I said, well, I'll go get the second opinion. And I went to Canada, where it's not a capitalist system. Canada is a social health care. So in Canada, they won't just
Danny,
try to sell something to you.
is there any light switch what needs to be screwed back in?
I don't know where the plates are. Find the plates. When I find the plates, I'll
But
let you
can
know.
I take out plates? Is there anyone?
No, this is not for screwing. This is not. This is for checking out an electrical circuit. That's a different.
What's an electrical circuit?
An electrical circuit is when you have electricity running. So don't put that in here. Give me that. This is dangerous.
No.
You can get electrocuted from this.
Oh.
No, you can't actually. It's designed so you can't get electrocuted. I'll show you how to use this later, okay?
I put my hand on it. I didn't get it.
Yeah, what you do is you test a circuit using this, okay? Anyways, I have to end this video because my son wants me to teach him something. What I was going to say is, yes, I have a brain tumor. I have a brain abnormality. I've been walking around with it for at least 6 years, okay? And it's not growing. My son is you, right? It's not growing. It's stable. It's actually getting smaller based on the latest CT scan. So I did the right thing, but I had two choices. I could have been afraid and cut my brain open and taken out parts of my brain, which is what was being recommended. And that's what Senator McCain did. Okay, it's also what Biden's son did. You understand me? That when you take that option, you are being manipulated and exploited in the context of an ineffective, incompetent medical system. Whereas in Canada, there's a counterbalance, which is the socialist medical system. They will not put you into that procedure unless you're the most urgent need for that. So there's people complaining. My aunt, okay, let's talk about family history. My grandmother had a brain tumor. They gave her the diagnosis, and she never went back to the hospital again. She lived until she was 91 years old. My aunt had a brain tumor. She wanted the surgery. They wouldn't let her have the surgery. They said you don't need it. So it's strange how you can get a different prognosis from one doctor to another. But that's just the way it is. And so when I think about it, and it's been told to me that, and this is exactly how I am, I will look for the person that has the answer that I need, okay? There's a saying that I've been trying to get to today, which is, when the student is ready, the teacher arrives. So if you're finding this video, it means that you're ready. And if you're ready, then you're the one that's blessed with this knowledge, this wisdom. I have a brain tumor, okay? They tried to tell me that I was going to die. They said if you just do the biopsy, your life expectancy is 18 months, statistically speaking, based on a study in France. If you do the surgery, your life expectancy is 5 years, and that's considered success, okay? Look it up. If you live for 5 years after the surgery, they believe that they won. Now, I've been alive for 6 years. When they told me those two data points, I said, what about if I do nothing? And the guy was paused for a bit, and then he said, oh, that's the same as a biopsy. But it's not. As soon as you cut open the skull, you have to put the skull back together. You have to put in a foreign metal, like a titanium plate or something of that nature. It's not there is no way that doing nothing is the same as doing a biopsy. So I'll say this, I'm alive, it's been 6 years, so I beat cancer according to their definition. I didn't do the surgery. I'm still having symptoms, but the tumor is receding, it's getting smaller. And what I realized through this whole process is that you can be very healthy if you just trust in your body and eat well and exercise. That's one part. The second part is there's something known as German New Medicine. Each and every disease has a significant biological purpose. It's related to past trauma. So in my case, I believe that and when you have a brain tumor, in particular a brain tumor, since that's what it started with, it means that you have healed. There are 2 phases to each disease, according to German New Medicine. There's a conflict active phase where you're disturbed by something in your life, you're looking to find a solution. And then there is the resolution phase when you find the solution, and then you're in a restoration phase. Inside the restoration phase, there's another climax where you completely heal. And at the point of healing is when the brain tumor appears. The brain tumor is a fluid in the brain. Pardon me. What I mean by fluid in the brain is all healing takes part in a fluid environment. When you have a trauma that's affecting a part of your body, part of your anatomy, then there will be a correlated relay in the brain that is controlling that function or that organ. And once you get to the point that there's a resolution to your trauma, and you can look this up, look up German New Medicine if you want to know. This is what I came to, and I did not come to this right away. I tried everything, okay? I was on raw vegan diet, I was juicing vegetables, I was doing anything and everything that people offered me, the Budwig protocol, so many things that I tried, trying to heal myself. And this is where I am now, that I outlived the prognosis, I'm in year 6, and I have a wisdom on what works based on what doesn't work. And so I recommend German New Medicine. It's working well for me. And I'll update you. I'll let you know when it's fully gone. I think it's going to happen anytime soon. It is related, in my case, to a water conflict, which is basically I need to become a billionaire. I'm a Vancouver millionaire and I need to become a Vancouver billionaire. The goal is to do that within 13 months by healing the world and solving the biggest and toughest challenges that we face as humanity. No Elsa right now. God bless y'all. I'll post this and I'll get back to you with another video in a bit.
No!
No, you want it? Here it comes.